crazy. Okay, so now I don't want you to take this the wrong way just because you and I used to live together and we used to be roommates. So I will tell you the statistic and I will say present company 100% excluded. Like this would never happen in a million trillion if you were the last man on earth years. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. So a new study came out that said 1 in 4 people has had sex with their roommate in lockdown.
Oh, really?
1 in 4. That's a lot of people who are just like, you know what? You and I, we're in a pod here. You're not going out. I'm not going out. I don't want to get sick. You don't want to get sick. Let's just do this.
I think that number is more. I think the other 3 out of the 4 are lying.
I think 1 in 4 is a big number.
No, I think during COVID and you're stuck in that apartment and let's say you're not totally hideous looking.
Right.
You're going to do it one night.
There's going to be a how you doing moment.
There's going to be. But then the bad thing is you're going to be stuck in that pod with that person afterwards. So,
or that's the good thing that you are stuck in the pod and you're like, we're just, now we're FWBs, I mean, that's just how it's going to go.
No, that's not going to work out.
Maybe like, how there's, I have a friend who's a sex worker and he's basically like, he says gay for the stay or gay for the pay, meaning that like he's straight. He identifies as a straight man, but he will have sex with men for money.
Right.
So he says gay for pay, So I wonder if it's like, if there's a COVID version of that where it's like, you're my COVID boo.
Mm.
And then like post COVID, you go back to your life, I go back to my life. It's like we never even lived together.
Yeah, that is not going to turn out well no matter what. I don't think that's a good idea at all because you're stuck with them to the end of the lease.
Yeah. That's why, I never lived with a guy that I wasn't in a relationship with for that reason. Because I didn't want to get in a situation where I'm living with a guy and like one night he's drunk, I'm drunk, there's some misinterpretation of signals and then it's just awkward and then you have like a 2-year lease with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always only lived with girls, like even in college, after college, every time for a little while, a friend of mine's brother came and lived with us just temporarily and he was hideous. So that was never going to happen. I was never going to hit that. But
did it ever get close?
No. I personally, between you and I didn't even think he was straight.
Oh,
so
okay.
He wasn't out. He just wasn't. He was a working guy. He was busy. He was asexual as far as I was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what happens. Like if you're somebody who has a roommate of the opposite sex, or you're gay and you have a roommate of the same sex, I just think like, it's hard not to hook up once in a while.
See, in our situation, it was easy because you are disgusting.
As are you.
As are me. And we have a totally different relationship on the air, which we couldn't have if that happened.
Right. You and I are like siblings.
Right. We rely on each other too much for a living.
Right. Yeah, it's true. That I don't even like. As far as I'm concerned, you're a Ken doll. You have no penis.
That's pretty correct. And I'm pretty sure you do have one.
Yes, that was never going to go on between us. I mean, it's different than like hooking up with somebody you work with. Like that's a little bit. I think hooking up with somebody you live with, who's just a roommate. That's so awkward.
I don't know. I mean, I think when you're on the air, I think it's different because you have to talk to each other for 4 hours a day. So if the sex wasn't good, it's going to be really awkward, and you can't fake that.
Yeah, you can't fake that. You can't not talk about that on the air. You can't get in the next morning and be like, all right, I wasn't going to bring this up, but it's on my mind.
It was like 2 friends that I had a long time ago that worked together and were really good friends. But they said the only reason why they never had sex was because they wouldn't be able to stop laughing. And that would be us.
Yeah,
we
right.
wouldn't be able to stop laughing.
I wouldn't be able to stop throwing up.
You would be throwing up. I would be laughing. It just wouldn't work.
Just be constant. It would be like one of those Family Guy scenes where it's just like bleh, constant vomit.